Hello and welcome back inside the USF Softball Stadium here in Tampa, Florida for WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. After an early morning defeat 6-0 at the hands of the Florida Gators, Michigan back in action 15 this afternoon for a big matchup against the host USF Bulls in their home stadium. I'm Jeremy Parks alongside Alex Drain, ready to bring you Game 4 of the Team 42 season as Michigan comes in at 1-2. And Drain, what's the biggest thing Michigan's trying to focus on here in this game? I think we know the answer, but I'll ask it anyways.
Get some hits.
That's exactly right.
They've been puzzling offensively in terms of what kind of team they want to be. Is this a team that is going to play for walks and speed, or is it one that's going to try to hit with power? Because really through the first game and a half, it was a team playing on the base paths, trying to draw walks, got fortunate with some hit by pitches. And then in the second half of the Arizona game, and then this morning against Florida, very, very aggressive at-bats, short at-bats, 2-3 pitches. Kelly Barnhill, I believe, barely touched 60 pitches to get through 7 full innings this morning for Florida against Michigan. Overly aggressive, a lot of pop-outs, so it's about finding an offensive identity and, most importantly, just squaring the ball up and getting hard contact.
Well, and it looks like the lineup might be designed to do that for the Wolverines here at the plate in this game. We'll run through it for you real quick. We'll give you a USF after the start. Batting first, Natalie Peters. Batting second, Lexi Blair. Batting third, Faith Canfield. No changes there. However, a change in the fourth spot with Madison Uden stepping up to the cleanup role. Wolverines stepping in at 5 after she had one of the only 2 hits in that game against Florida. A hard shot down the third base line. Katie Alexander back catching in the 6th spot. Alex Subject batting 7th, Haley Hoganrod batting 8th, and Natalia Rodriguez batting 9th. They're going to face the likes of Nicole Doyle here for the USF Bulls in the circle, and then it will be Starocco in the circle for Michigan when they come up in the bottom of the first. Michigan playing the role of away team here, and rightfully so. USF home field.
I believe USF gets to be the home team in all of their games this weekend. I'm not entirely sure, but
it'd be weird if it weren't true, but you never know with these early season tournaments. As they are lined up out in the field doing their warm-ups, a couple of warm-up pitches. Got Natalie Peters just offset from the on-deck circle, timing up a few of these practice throws. And then Lexi Blair right behind her in the actual on-deck circle.
Well, Nicole Doyle will present Michigan with some opportunities. Last year, she only appeared in 14 games, started at 3, but a 4.20 ERA. In 25 innings, she gave up 19 hits and 19 walks for a pretty grisly whip. 15 strikeouts in just 25 innings. So this is a hittable pitcher. If Michigan's going to get their offense on track, this is who they need to do it against. I mean, of all the 6 pitchers who pitched last season for USF, Doyle had the highest ERA of all of them. So this is Michigan's opportunity.
Well, it looks like the final warm-up pitch has been thrown. The field settles in, and we are about to get underway here from the USF Softball Stadium, Game 4, Michigan and USF. Natalie Peters just outside the batter's box getting ready to step in. As Nicole Doyle steps to the rubber, she twirls that ball in the right hand. As she kicks back and delivers the first pitch of the game, a called strike right across home plate. Your home plate umpire in this game, Liz Hammer-Schmidt. Corner infielders shading in very close on Peters here. Third base especially about 6 steps off the bag. And the 0-1, another called strike right over the plate with the fastball.
Interesting that they're playing so in when Peters, I do not believe, has attempted a bunt this weekend. She is a slapper, but she's mostly been hitting straight up.
Perhaps just trying to dissuade her from doing anything different then. As Doyle readies and delivers the 0-2. That one swung on, and it's a little blooper over towards short, charging in off the base path line, and making the grab out there is going to be Lindsay Devitt, the shortstop for USF. Out number 1. And that'll bring up Lexi Blair, a mainstay in that 2 spot so throughout the tournament. Doyle readies, delivers, and that's a hard shot down the line. If it stays fair, it's gone. Tailing, just foul.
That was probably in the, what's it say out there? Is that 190 in the corner?
190 to the corner.
That was probably 250 or so. I mean, that was way over the fence, almost past the second fence, guarding some guy's house.
The hardest hit ball we've seen so far in this tournament from the Wolverines, but it does them no good as it tailed foul by just about a couple of feet down the first base line. The count is now 0-1 as Doyle readies and delivers. That one comes up high over the face mask of Lexi Blair. She takes it for a ball.
Well, Blair was marketed as a Natalie Peters type, but we've seen a surprising amount of power in these first couple games. A long fly out against Arizona, and now that really hard hit foul ball.
And the 1-1, another hard shot out towards center field, ranging over and making the grab are the Bulls. As that catch is made out in center field by Anne-Marie Bruni. 2 down now in the inning. But a couple of hard hit balls for Lexi Blair, showing some pop in that bat with a small stature, something we haven't seen thus far.
Well, she's lining those up a lot better.
And that'll bring up Faith Canfield. First pitch to Canfield misses inside for ball 1.
Michigan's trying to get Canfield going. Just the one hit yesterday against Arizona on the weekend. This is a typically right about a 400 hitter.
As Doyle looks down, delivers. That a similar spot to the last pitch, missing inside for ball 2, counts 2-0.
Well, you can expect something to be hittable here.
And the 2-0. That one right down Broadway with the fastball called strike. Get it 2-5, and 2-5 is definitely trying to get after it. Canfield has been quiet so far in the tournament, as have been most of the bats, as the 2-1 comes down the pipe a bit low, and that'll run the count to 3-1. Doyle looks down, sets, delivers. 3-1 is popped up over towards the third base foul line. Waving off is the shortstop, and making the grab are the Bulls. And that'll do it for the Wolverines. Here in the first inning, they hit a couple of hard balls, but nothing comes to fruition as Devitt handles the last one. We head to the bottom of the first. Your score is 0-0 between Michigan and USF here on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, plenty of hittable pitches there for Michigan, but just nothing falling in. They'll get more opportunities later on, but now we get a look at Alex Storako, who we've seen a fair bit of in this opening weekend tournament. She came in relief of Bobian on Friday morning against North Carolina State, had 3 perfect innings, 5, 6, 7, to get the win, and closed that one out, riding a lot of momentum. Carol Hutchins went with the hot hand in Game 2 and facing a very, very good Arizona lineup. Ran into a lot of trouble in the first, had an easier second, and then ran into a lot more trouble in the third. It was just the command. She was pounding the zone against North Carolina State and then just couldn't find the zone against Arizona, and she got the hook with the bases loaded and nobody out in the third against Arizona. So how does she bounce back? This is a player we heard a lot about in the preseason at Media Day. She started against Michigan State at Alumni in the fall ball game.
Rooney will be the leadoff hitter for the Bulls, followed up by Lightstole and Devitt, then Cook, Keene, Michael, Hartman, Lay, and Sheehan. As Anna-Marie Bruni steps to the plate.
Well, at her best, Storako is a spin-heavy pitcher who is quite capable of finding the heat. She had a lot of velocity behind her pitches in the games yesterday. And looks like we got an issue with the wristband.
Yeah, just getting it fixed up here as she calls over Faith Canfield, does Storako. Canfield working on something here. Looks like we're all good now as she gives a little laugh. Should be set to go. Spinning that ball in her right hand. First pitch of her outing goes up high and outside for ball one to Bruni. Bruni, a junior here for the Bulls. As the 1-0. Called strike over the heart of the plate with the fastball there for Storako. Goes fastball, fastball. One was high, and then the second right in there. Count 1-1. Working quickly now, kicking and delivering the 1-1. That one comes up high, showing bunt, and then pulling back was Bruni.
Bruni continues to show bunt on these pitches, but not a whole lot over the plate right now.
As Storako takes a second, looks down to Alexander, throws, and swung right through on that one. Count now 2-2. Looked like Bruni might have been expecting some off-speed there. She was well behind on that fastball. And the 2-2 pitch, that one is popped up on a half chop, and it's going to hang right over the batter's box and be gathered in by Katie Alexander for the first out.
Well, you're going to hear a lot from us about the wind today. The key sleeve on your laptop almost just blew away. It is very windy up here on the Donaldson deck, but it's also very windy down there. The American flag in right center really gusting right now.
That'll bring up Brooke Lightstall as the first pitch misses low for ball one. Lightstall, one of the outfielders here for the Bulls this afternoon. As the 1-0 comes from Storako, called strike, showing bunt. Also was Lightstall, but pulled back. Took the called strike, count evens to 1 apiece. As Storako brings the 1-1, that one chopped over towards second, gathered in by Canfield on the one hop, the quick turn over to first to subject is in time by about a step, and that'll be out number 2. Had to be handled well off the dirt there. Canfield did just that.
That's what you like to see, because it was a rough defensive game for the Wolverines against Florida. 3 errors, some very costly ones as well. And it looks like the Bull mascot is showing his mug down in the front row.
That'll bring up Lindsay Devitt, the shortstop today, as the first pitch goes low and in the dirt, smothered up by Alexander. It's a very large bull.
Rocky the Bull is his name, wearing a green jumpsuit.
The 1-0 fouled back into the backstop netting, 1-1. His name might be Rocky, but I think the better rock in the house is Storako. Count 1-1 to Devitt as Storako delivers. That one goes up high above the eyes, 2-1. You're right, that flag out in right field is blustering. It's blowing sort of from left field to right, sort of from infield to out. As the 2-1 is a called strike on the inside edge in that same spot that Megan Bobian found as a sweet spot back in the Florida game. For a called strike 2 to bring it to 2-2.
If the hitters on either side can consistently make contact to the outfield, the win could really be a factor.
And the 2-2, fouled back into the back net. The wind amplified up here on our view from the Donaldson deck, serving as somewhat of a wind tunnel here, overlooking things from the third base side. The 2-2 pitch swung on and just getting a piece of that one. Back into the back net again is Devitt.
She's just fighting to stay alive right now.
Still a pretty full house here. A lot of the Florida fans have departed after their last game. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Climbed the ladder with that one. And Storako gets Devitt swinging.
Well, that's a very solid first inning there from Alex Storako. I know it's a different team, but Megan Bobian never once had a 1-2-3 inning in the Florida game. It was a very, very prolonged game, logging over 150 pitches, just never able to get quickly through an inning, and Storako does just that, getting things off on the right foot early on for the Wolverines, but they need the hitters to come through.
We head to the top of the second, still scoreless between USF and Michigan here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. A lot of maize and blue still in the crowd, like I was saying just a moment ago.
The home fans.
Some of the Florida fans have kind of simmered out here. There is some good USF green and gold in the crowd, but I'd say Michigan probably has the edge here, honestly, from what I can see. Pretty sizable Michigan contingent.
This is a win Michigan really wants because it gives them the opportunity to leave town with a winning record, provided that they take care of business against Illinois State tomorrow morning. And this is a USF team that is a legitimate NCAA tournament team. This is not a joke of a team in any stretch of the imagination. They won the American Athletic Conference, got the auto bid into the tournament. They went 1-2 in the Gainesville Regional, losing twice to Ohio State in narrow games, beating Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, they just eked out that regular season conference title over Houston by 1 game last year. But a team that, with head coach Ken Erickson in his 23rd season, has seen very high peaks of success in both conference play and on a larger stage. Trying to transfer that over to yet another season here. It'll be Uden, Overitis, and Alexander for the Wolverines in the top of the second, as Nicole Doyle is back into the circle. And the first pitch to Uden is up high. She tries to check her swing, but Liz Hammerschmidt says she went, called strike. 0-1.
Well, Doyle's been finding a lot of the zone, which gives Michigan the opportunity to square some up. They're not going to be able to just walk their way to a win here. They need to actually get some hits.
Lexi Blair showed some good contact back in the first. The 0-1, that one swung on, looping over towards center field, but ranging over and in time is the shortstop. Yet again, there is Lindsay Devitt, who has been very busy so far in this game.
Well, what we're seeing is a continuation of the Florida game in that there has been a ton of pop-ups. Michigan very eager to hit anything they see, but just out in front of the vast majority of these.
Now Overitis steps to the plate, and the first pitch outside off the plate for ball 1. She had, as we said, one of the only 2 hits, really the only hard hit, the only one that escaped the infield for Michigan in the 7th inning of the game against Florida. She had a rip shot over the third baseman down the third base line as the 1-0 pitch is low.
Overitis thought about heading for 2 and then threw on the brakes as Hoover came up gunning in left.
Doyle looks down, delivers the 2-0. Swung on and golf shot back towards the concourse behind us here.
For talking prospects, Overitis was the best recruit in the Michigan recruiting class, number 18 overall, and a very, very good high school player, had quite a bit of power in high school, 38 homers over 4 seasons.
The 2-1 pitch. That one swung on, hard shot over towards right field, but it sits on a rope and goes right into the hands of the outfielder out there. That is Brooke Leistel. A really good bit of contact from Overitis, just doesn't stick up. Yeah, just doesn't sit down, I should say.
That was a good liner, but you know, the one thing that we do have to mention is that Michigan's hits are not picking the right spots. Florida's hits had a way of falling in the right places. Michigan's hits have been overwhelmingly right at fielders.
And that will bring up Katie Alexander. She takes the first pitch for a ball. Middle infield is shaded back to right where the grass meets the infield dirt. Corner infielder's normal. The 1-0, that one low, just hanging above the dirt, 2-0. Katie Alexander did not start the Florida game. Hannah Carson was behind the plate as the 2-0 is swung on and fouled back into the back net. Make the count 2-1.
Carson did a solid job. She had to deal with some really tough pitches from Bobby, and a lot of ones up high. Allowed a couple wild pitches. Neither of them really her fault, though.
Doyle with the 2-1. That one up high and inside on Alexander, above the letters for ball 3. A very favorable 3-1 count now.
This is a hitter's count opportunity for Alexander to square one up.
Trying to produce a little offense here, maybe. As Doyle brings the 3-1. That one is popped up over towards foul territory. Is there enough room over there to make the catch? There is, and there in time is Bethany Keene to make the grab, and it'll be a foul out for Alexander to end the inning.
Well, no strikeouts, no groundouts. Everything out of the air for the Wolverines.
And that will do it for the Wolverines in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half. Your score is 0-0 between USF and Michigan here on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
One-liner and then a lot of pop-ups and a lot of flyouts. Michigan just cannot get anything going in terms of lining up hits. Squaring that ball and pushing it to the outfield. That's what you want to see, but just not falling in the right spots right now.
So that will bring Alex Storako back out to the circle. It's a good reminder, as always, we encourage you to interact with us throughout the game on both Twitter at WCBN Sports and on the YouTube.com/WCBN Sports live feed. Drop us any questions that you have during the game. We'll do our best to get them answered for you. We always like to fill the half innings with all of those. The fourth of 5 games here on the weekend. We will have the final game for you tomorrow morning against Illinois State, which originally looked like rain may threaten it, but it looks like that will take place in the morning before the game occurs, so it might just be a soggy field, but we should be good to play for tomorrow morning, I believe, a 9 a.m. scheduled start. It will be Cook, Keene, and Michael due up here for USF in the bottom of the second inning. As Storako has finished her warm-up, she steps to the rubber and delivers the first pitch down in the dirt, but getting just a little piece of that there was Macy Cook. (14-pitch first inning for Storako, pretty efficient, trying to go right back to that here in the 1-2-3. The 0-1. Looper right over towards Canfield, gets it off the dirt, makes a quick throw over to Subject at first in time.
Well, Storako's looked very confident so far, and it's what you like to see, bouncing back from a tough go against Arizona.
And that will bring up Bethany Keene now in the 5 spot for USF. Bases empty, 1 out here in the bottom of the second in a scoreless game. The first pitch to Keene goes low and outside, scooped up off the dirt by Alexander, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. That one is tapped over towards the first base line and foul. Subject tried to gather it in before it went foul. Made it out by just a couple of inches there.
Yeah, some very soft tappers right now off the bat of the Bulls.
Definitely not going to get that velocity that Bobian was throwing earlier on a lot of these pitches. The 1-1. That one a ball low. 2-1 your count on Bethany Keene, the first baseman. The 2-1. Fouled back into the back net. Storako checks the wristband, looks over. Twirls the ball in the right hand and brings the 2-2 again, fouled back into the back net.
Keene fighting to stay alive here.
5-pitch at bat so far with Keene. And another 2-2 pitch. That one again, shot foul down the first base line, this time well foul as it goes over towards the coach's box on the first base side.
Stracco took quite a bit off on that one, and lucky to get a piece was Keene out in front of it.
Stracco continually between pitches looking back to Jen Brundage in the dugout, giving her hand signs to match up with her wristband there. And a third 2-2. That one misses up high above the letters. Count now full 3-2.
Not a bad spot to go with the 2-2 pitch.
Keene working this one for what it's worth. This one will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. A payoff pitch, grounded, 1 hop, 2 hop, over to Canfield. Quick throw, was it in time? It was not.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Deep in the hole. Just a soft tapper, but well placed. That's the thing about situational directional hitting.
Bethany Keene able to beat that one out for an infield single. That'll be the first hit of the game for either side, as the Bulls try and make something happen here now with 1 out and a runner on first. As J.C. Michael comes up to the plate now. Shows bunt on the first pitch, takes it low for ball 1.
Well, you'd like to see Stracco get ahead of hitters in a few of these counts.
Stracco readies the 0-1. That one cut, and a check swing that they do say she went around on. Should now be 1-1. Scoreboard had that as an 0-1 count. It should have been a 1-0. That one misses inside and high for ball 2. Just 1 out here in the inning still, with Keene taking secondary leads off of first base.
J.C. Michael, one of the freshmen in the lineup for USF.
And the 2-1 again, missing up in a similar spot, inside and high, 3-1. Stracco gonna have to put this one in the zone as she gives it that twirl with the 3-1 pitch. That one is fouled back into the net here on the third base side. Count now full 3-2. The wind has died down a little bit, still blustering out in the outfield, but much less so than it was at the start of the game. A payoff pitch is chopped on a half swing foul down the third base side.
It's a very Florida-heavy roster for USF, deriving pretty much their whole team from in-state talent, with the exceptions of a few, including today's starting pitcher, Nicole Doyle from Ohio.
The 3-2, right over the heart of the plate, ring it up, called strike 3. Michael took a step or two down towards the first base line, thinking she had herself a walk, and Liz Hammerschmidt brings her up a backwards K, the second strikeout of the game for Stracco.
Well, that's what you want to see Stracco doing, because right now USF is not getting any hard contact whatsoever. They're not lining up the pitches, just put them over the plate.
Now, Brooke Hartman, I should say, as the first pitch goes up high over her helmet for ball 1. 2 down and a runner on first, scoreless game here, bottom of the second, Michigan and USF. The 1-0. That one a called strike, right at the knees on the inside edge. Well-placed pitch for Stracco, 1-1. Infield and outfield shaded pretty regularly. Lexi Blair out in left field, closer to the warning track. The 1-1, called strike 2 over the plate. Make you believe that the scouting report would say she's got some pull power on that dominant left side.
Interesting that Carol Hutchins used Hannah Carson this morning against Florida, but on the other hand, with the more experienced Bobian, whereas they use the more experienced Alexander with the less experienced Starako to try to produce the best possible results defensively.
The 1-2. That one shot foul down the line. On the first base side, count stays 1-2.
Wind is picked back up. The flag really getting yanked around. A lot of fans out in right field have put down blankets and are watching beyond the fence.
As the 1-2 comes in, swing and a miss. Third strikeout of the game for Starako will end the inning as Hartman will go down swinging and the Bulls will get a runner on base courtesy of an infield single, but they will not move any further than that. We head to the top of the third. You're still scoreless between Michigan and USF here on WCBN Sports, coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, very strong outing so far from Alex Starako, cruising through the upper half of the South Florida order, but Michigan needs to be able to find some rhythm against Nicole Doyle. It'll be the bottom of the order, subject Hoganrod Rodriguez. Carol Hutchins continues to just sort of jumble her batting order in any way that she can. I mean, Hoganrod, I believe, was hitting 4th in the first game, is now dropped down to 8th.
She was hitting 5th after Nemitz.
No, Nemitz didn't start the first game.
First game to...
I'm talking against NC State yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, okay. Dozed off on you there for a moment.
And Blair, who was at the bottom of the order, now up at the top. That's been the way for a couple games now. Overitis is the designated player, meaning that we've had a different designated player in every game, I believe. We started with Thais Gonzalez, and then they tried out Nemitz this morning. Now Overitis. Subject was the DP in the Arizona game. Just trying to find who can get some hits.
7-8-9, Subject, Hoganrod, Rodriguez here as Alex Subject fouls the first pitch she sees back over her head, over towards the fans here on the third base side. Got up over the net and snuck underneath.
Yeah, and then bounced off the pole.
As Nicole Doyle gets back to work here with the 0-1 on a fresh ball. And that one goes low, 1-1. Taking a good bit of time to look down to her catcher. And the 1-1 pitch fouled back out of play behind the stadium here.
Off the roof.
As Cook gets a fresh ball to deliver down to Doyle. Subject standing in there in a 1-2 count. She's starting at first base in this game for the Wolverines. The 1-2. This is outside. Count evens.
And Subject getting the start at first after Taylor Bump started the first 3 at that position. Subject's an old faithful utility type that's just never been able to seize a starting role.
The 2-2. That one up high level with Subject as she holds off. And the count will go full.
First full count the Wolverines have seen today. They got a couple 3-1 counts.
Looking for a leadoff base runner here in the top of the third. A payoff pitch. Swung on foul. That'll get up back behind the press box and into the concourse.
The dangerous concourse.
It is. A lot of foul balls coming up over that way. And
it's a very short and slanted roof that allows lots of balls to get past it.
But otherwise, a really nice facility here at USF. We've been coming down here for several years now to do this tournament, and a very, very nice facility overall. Very good turnout for this one. As Doyle is looking for the right pitch to set down Subject. She thinks she's got it. Twists into the glove. The 3-2, that one is up high, and it escapes the glove of the catcher Cook. Goes all the way to the backstop, and that'll be ball 4.
Not even close on that one.
The first base runner of the game for Michigan, and the first walk surrendered in the game. Good job there by Subject to work that count, get it back up to full, and then take ball 4. As now Haley Hoganrod steps to the plate, moving down to the 8th spot in the lineup for this one. As the first pitch is up high, and again, almost getting past the catcher Cook, she comes up out of her crouch quickly to grab it.
Now Subject should be ready to run. And now we've got coach coming out to talk with Doyle.
And it's not Ken Erickson, it's one of the USF assistants there, out to have a word with both Doyle and Cook. Both teams mulling around as Hutch has the Booney hat on here on the third base side for this game.
Yeah, looks like she's on a safari.
Calls over Haley Hoganrod to get some instructions.
Oh wow, look at that. Rocky the Bull at the Dippin' Dots tent.
Getting himself some Dippin' Dots. Surprised he's not at the Yingling tent right next to it. As Hoganrod steps back to the box with the 1-0 count. She takes a big cut on 1-0 and swings right through.
A little late on that swing.
Wind very much back in effect now. As Doyle is right back in the count at 1-1. She's got it to the mitt and delivers. It comes up high. Missing for ball 2.
Well, Hoganrod's worked herself into a bit of a hitter's count.
See if they give her anything to jump at here, the 2-1. That one misses inside. That's a really well-placed pitch there from Doyle. Just doesn't get the call.
Long look there from Hammerschmidt behind home plate.
She just scratched her own head after that one, and we'll go back to work. But now a very friendly count, 3-1 to Hoganrod. As Doyle delivers. Swung on, shot over towards right center field. If it gets down in the gap, it's big. It does. Bouncing up against the wall, gathered in center field. Sending around third is Subject. She's headed home. The throw is not made. Sliding in is Subject, and the Wolverines are on the board.
Well, that was finally the well-placed ball. It wasn't really any harder than some of the other balls we've seen hit this weekend, but it finally finds a gap. Haley Hoganrod puts it down in between the center fielder and the right fielder. It rolls all the way to the wall, and Subject scampers first to home.
Hoganrod, hot shot. Gives you the first score of the game. Scooting into second there with the double. And still none out in the inning as the 9-hitter Rodriguez steps in. She shows bunt, takes, called strike 1.
Definitely a threat to bunt the runner over to third. You'd like her to just not do that and take some cuts, because these pitches from Doyle are very hittable, and we saw Rodriguez get a single of her own straight up yesterday.
And the 0-1 pitch, again showing bunt, again pulling back, again taking called strike, 0-2.
Got the call on the outside corner.
Wolverines up 1-0 now with their first chance with a runner in scoring position as Hoganrod stands on second. The 0-2. That one goes up high over the head of Rodriguez for ball 1. Hoganrod got some dirt on the shins down there from her slide into second as she leans off the bag. The 1-2. That one just missing again. A nice pitch that Doyle wanted. She gives a little sigh and a small shake of the head there. Had it placed low into the outside, but not giving way there is home plate umpire Liz Hammerschmidt, 2-2.
The outside corner to the lefty hitters has not been kind.
A 2-2. That one just missing in the same spot again. Really, it's coming about as close as you can to painting the edge. And
that bottom outside corner that is just not there right now.
Count now full on Natrod. The payoff. That one, I think she's headed to first, but it's a strikeout. Yeah, that's strike 3.
Natalia Rodriguez walked down to first like she got on, and now they're telling her you're out.
Yeah, she called strike 3. She got all the way down to first, was starting to take off her elbow guard, but she didn't swing. I think that's why she thought it was a called strike 3. She half-checked the swing, didn't go, but again, that's a strikeout, and that'll be the first strikeout for Nicole Doyle.
Well, to be fair, there was really no verbal signal that I heard from Hammerschmidt.
Yeah, I just saw her go up with the right arm.
And that would have been obscured from the angle Rodriguez was at.
Back to the top of the lineup with Natalie Peters now as she takes ball 1 high. Disappointing, but even Bonnie Thole down there was a little confused. She was starting to talk to Rodriguez like she was going to get some base instructions, and sends her back. The 1-0. That one a ball up high as well, 2-0.
Well, what was odd about that sequence with Rodriguez is that she had no idea whatsoever. It wasn't a sort of borderline call where she was trying to sell it. I mean, she really thought she had the walk.
As Peters stands in, takes a slap shot, but it goes right over to second base in a very fast turn. Will allow Hoganrod to advance to third, but a gather in there off the dirt by Lay, and the quick toss over to Keene will produce out number 2.
Well, runner on third, 2 outs. Opportunity for Lexi Blair to get an RBI. She hit some balls really hard her first time up. We'll see if she can square up Doyle again and put it in the right spot.
And she is ready. Steps into the batter's box. Hoganrod on third, 2 outs. Michigan 1-0 lead here. First pitch up high, and this is for ball 1.
Well, and also Hoganrod has to be ready to run in the event of a wild pitch. We've already seen some wilder pitches from Doyle.
That in with 2 outs, gone on contact. As Doyle readies with a 1-0 count. That one swung on, gathered in on a half dive over at short, but it's not in time. It'll score the run. Yep. A lot of speed down the base paths from Lexi Blair, and she will have an infield RBI single. Couldn't get it in time, could debit, and that'll be the second run of the game for the Wolverines, who take a 2-0 lead here with 2 outs in the top of the third.
It was really a nice play by Devitt to stop the ball from going out of the infield. That was deep in the hole, got to it, no chance whatsoever. Really with any runner, but Blair especially. And Michigan now is banked 2 in this inning and looking for more.
Kate Canfield takes ball 1. Finally, a couple of runs has this dugout pepped up and excited right in front of us here on the third base side. As the 1-0 is a called strike, catches the outside edge. 1-1.
Canfield popped out to short her first time up.
The 1-1 pitch. That one hard shot gathered right in the glove. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing, and right over there at third base and gathering that one in was Hartman. A really nice play with some flashy leather.
Scalded right at Lay, who had to, in just self-defense, stab at that one.
Hard contact nonetheless, but that will end the inning. The Wolverines put up 2 in the frame as we head to the bottom of the third inning with a 2-0 Michigan lead here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
This wind is getting almost dangerous. It picked the laptop up.
Did it really?
Yeah. It blew my phone off the desk earlier.
Oh, boy. Call that to end the inning, a line out to 5. About as hot of a line as you can catch out there.
But it puts some cushion behind Alex Storako as she goes back to work. Very strong so far, as retired 6 of the 7 hitters she faced and allowed only soft contact so far.
3 strikeouts so far as well, with 1 looking for Storako. Due up for the Bulls, it's going to be Lay, Sheehan, and then back to Bruni at the top here in the third. As the infield will have a quick convergence in the circle, dap each other up, and head back out to their posts. Outfield will do the same. Ken Erickson takes his spot in the coach's box on the third base line.
Interesting thing to note out in the bullpen for the Wolverines, Sarah Schaefer throwing.
On the very first pitch that Lay sees, she grounds it right over to Natalia Rodriguez, who makes the quick grab and throw over to subject at first. One pitch, one out.
That's a very nice play by Rodriguez too. Had to, you don't want to rush that one and risk another error, but you also do have to play with urgency, scoop it, and the quick transfer from the glove to the hand, and then the strong arm throw across to get a rather quick base runner in Lay.
That'll bring up Megan Sheehan, a freshman on this team, as the first pitcher she goes high. Had me tongue twisted there. The first pitch, Sheehan's. It's been a long day at the ballpark. The 1-0. That one goes high, 2-0.
Speaking of warming up, 2 pitchers are throwing in the USF bullpen.
I believe one is Cheyenne Eggins. Can't quite tell who the other is. The 2-0 pitch, that one also high, 3-0 now on Sheehan. After a 1-pitch first at bat, 3 straight balls here to Megan Sheehan. From Alex Storako, who has the ball to the leather, delivers the 3-0 right over the heart of the plate. Never a thought about swinging there, as the count is 3-1.
You don't want to give up a walk to the number 9 hitter, and a freshman at that.
Then go back to the lineup. The 3-1. That one dips low and misses for ball 4. As the Bulls will have a base runner now with 1 out. And back to the top of their order with Anna Marie Bruni. Bruni stepping in as she stands very tall in that batter's box. The first pitch is low and plucked up out of the dirt by Alexander.
Might be worth going out and talking to Storako at some point. Struggling to find the zone right now.
See if she can reel it in here. She's looking down to the veteran, Katie Alexander, behind the plate. The 1-0, that one is a swing chop foul, looking like they were trying to pull a hit and run there.
Yep.
As Sheehan thought that she had a stolen base, and she's told to head back to first. It was foul chopped.
Yep, didn't see the swing. It was very soft contact.
So now 1-1. Runner on first, 1 out. Bulls down 2 to the Wolverines. And the pitch. Breaking ball just missing, perhaps a bit high, perhaps a bit outside.
And there's the meeting with Storako from Alexander, and out comes Jennifer Brundage as well.
Let's see what she's got for her here. Maybe seeing something. They seem to be smiles in the circle right now.
I mean, Storako's been pitching fine. There's no issue in terms of South Florida hitting her. It's really just all in the head right now.
Been missing on some of her stuff here. A good outfield crowd sitting on the small elevated hill out in right field, as the infield seats are pretty much filled up to capacity here still. Might have to make a stop at the Dippin' Dots tent drain after we're done.
Well, it's a little bit chillier today.
Just a little. As we are back to play, Bruni drops a bunt on 2-1. It's quickly gathered in by Storako, and she gets the throw down to first in time.
Don't like that at all.
Advancing the runner there.
If I'm South Florida, because you got a pitcher who's not finding the zone at all, and you're going to give her a free out, all while you can advance the runner down to second, but it's 2 outs, and it's not even a tying run, it's a third inning. It's a very strange decision there.
Don't disagree with you. And that'll bring up Lystel, who on the first pitch hits it right back to Storako, and she helps her own cause, gets the last 2 outs on her own there.
Very useful sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. As that'll be it for USF. They get a runner on, advancer to second, but do no more. We will head to the top of the fourth, where Michigan will come up to bat up 2-0 on the USF Bulls. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. And you know what? A sighting out down the first base side. Eddie McDoom, old number 13.
Oh, really?
Michigan football, in his Michigan football number 13 sweatshirt. He transferred.
Where is he?
To the University of South Florida. See his bleached hair right down there. He transferred, sat out this last season, formerly known at Michigan for the McDoom chants and jet sweeps fame. I think that's the only play he ever ran at Michigan was jet sweeps.
Yeah.
But he's come down here to USF.
Rocky is really headbanging away down the first base line with the young fan.
To some motley crew.
Doing the hashtag horns up, the official hashtag of South Florida softball.
Horns up.
Yeah, McDoom was always kind of misused in a lot of ways, but was never a great receiver.
Didn't have great hands.
One time he had the opportunity to make a pivotal catch. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But we're not going to discuss that.
Anyways, a familiar face in the crowd, as it will be Madison Uden to start off the inning here for the Wolverines. It'll go Uden, Overitis, and Alexander, as the first pitch misses for a ball. And the 1-0 foul back. Was wondering if we might see him in the crowd here today. We were talking about him yesterday. 1-1 the count on Uden. As Doyle kicks back and brings it home. Kind of dipping with her right arm out of the way there was Uden. It was well inside, 2-1.
We got a question, or actually rather a comment in the live chat about people seeing Eddie McDoom at Alumni Field a handful of times when he was at Michigan.
The 2-1. Misses low. It was well located, but just couldn't bite the zone. Now 3-1.
Josh Metellus was also a frequent at Alumni Field last year, as he is still in a relationship with former softball player Tara Blanco.
Connections. I'm just surprised that he would wear his Michigan gear as a now USF student.
Well, you know, it's not, I mean, some people transfer because things went wrong, like Amori Samuels, but a lot of folks in college football are transferring because there's not a lot of playing time or whatever that happens at the big programs. A lot of competition between highly talented players, so, you know, there may not be any bad blood between him and the Wolverines.
There was a quick meeting in the circle between Cook and Doyle, but we are now ready to get back underway with a 3-1 count to Uden and the 3-1 pitch. That one is blooped, heading towards center field, tracking over and making the basket catch over the shoulder is going to be the second baseman out there. That is Lay. A really nice grab. It looked like it was bound for a Texas League single, but instead it will be the first out of the inning.
Very fine defensive play there.
And that will bring up Overitis, as the first pitch she takes is a called strike.
Also got a question in the live chat about Taylor Bump. She is not starting. Alex Subject is at first.
And the 0-1 misses high.
I wouldn't be shocked to see bunt in a pinch hitting situation.
The 1-1 pitch. That one is low for ball 2. The 2-1. That one just missing low out of the zone, 3-1.
Once again, the score, Michigan 2, South Florida 0, as we play in the top of the fourth.
Doyle readies for 3-1 pitch. That one a hot shot over towards center, but it's going to hang up on a line and head right into the glove of the center fielder out there, Bruni.
Yeah, unfortunate. Overitis making really good contact today. Got the hit against Florida. Now 2 stone-cold liners into the outfield, but not well placed right at the fielders.
Yep, a line out to 8 and a line out to 9 on the card for her as Katie Alexander now will step to the plate. And she takes the first pitch right at the letters for call strike 1. Nearing 50 pitches here on the outing so far for Nicole Doyle. A couple more to hit the mark. The 0-1. That one goes high and gathered in at the last minute by Cook. And she botches the throw back to the circle as it'll take an extra second to get the ball back into the pitcher Doyle. 1-1. The delivery. That one a hard shot that's going to go foul into the netting over the Michigan dugout down the third base side. It's always fun to watch Hutch if they hit a foul ball in her direction. She never really looks towards the ball. Never really takes her eye away from the batter. Doesn't really care. It's not in play. And the 1-2. That one popped up, ranging over into shallow right field is the second baseman over there, Lay, and she will make the grab to end the inning. Michigan makes some hard contact, but they can't do a whole lot with it. It's 3 up and 3 down as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Michigan leading this one by a score of 2-0 over USF here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. You like that prolonged call? Been digging that one for the last couple of half innings here. Looks like some North Carolina gear as well in the standing room only over on the first base side, and that is a good reminder that we will be live from Chapel Hill next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with 2 games against the Carolina Tar Heels and 2 against the Louisville Cardinals in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. It'll be myself and WCBN alumni Morris Fabry on the call. Former original partner when this broadcasting gig got a little big with the softball crowd, and he's now at Duke getting his master's. And we'll be hanging out in Bull City, Durham, North Carolina. Feel free to drop us a line if you're headed out that way. And again, keep the questions coming in the live chat. Drain is on the laptop handling those with efficiency and speed. And a big day as well, worth noting, for Michigan basketball, a big home win against Wisconsin, one of the only 2 teams that they lost to this season, Drain. We went and watched that at Gators dockside between games.
Very infuriating game. Wisconsin is a terrible team and a garbage basketball program. So,
Devitt Cook Keene here due up in the 4th. And the first pitch to Devitt is a called strike at the knees. Storako goes right back to work. The 0-1, showing bunt and then pulling back to take a ball high.
Michigan lacrosse won their season opener today as well.
Over Cleveland State, I believe?
Yep.
Yes, 10-8.
They had an exhibition game last week as well.
The 1-1 to Devitt, up high, ball 2. Devitt struck out swinging in her first at-bat that ended the bottom of the 1st inning. It's to bat this time with nobody on and nobody out. The 2-1. That one a breaking changeup right in there for a called strike 2. Count 2-2.
Good job to take some off of that one.
See where Storako goes as she twirls, readies, and delivers the 2-2. That one misses up and outside. Full count. Where would you go here, Drain?
Put it over the plate.
And it is over the plate. It's a chop shot over to third, grabbed up by Uden, and a nice cross-field throw in time over the subject to get the out. Out in front of that one was Devitt. She poked it right over to third base.
You ready for this one?
Go for it.
Say Yeski to Teski.
I don't like that.
That appeared in the live chat.
That's not very good. That'll bring up Macy Cook. And she takes a hot shot on the first pitch. It's headed out towards the gap in left field, but ranging over is Peters to make the grab just shy of the warning track and just shy of the 230 sign.
Best contact we've seen all day.
Yeah, teed it up on the first one, did Cook, but it's one pitch, one out. And now 2 outs for Keene. Also nearing 50 pitches now is Storako. As Bethany Keene steps to the plate. Very straight up stance. Takes the ball high. Didn't mention this, Michigan's still in the blue pants with the white jerseys and the maize lettering. USF wearing the white pants in the green jerseys with the gold lettering. White helmets for the Bulls. The 1-0. That one also hit hard, ranging over to the right field wall is Hogenrod. She looks back, and that ball is gone.
There's where the wind came into play, because that thing got blown way far. I mean, that was into the trees.
Wind was going straight from infield to out, and a well-hit ball. That'll carry it all the way over the fences. Nothing Haley Hogenrod can do. It went up over the tall part, landed right where those fans are sitting out on the small hill in right. And now the Bulls are on the board and down a run, 2-1.
Well, that's where it helps to get that second run in the top of the third for the Wolverines. They still cling to a 2-1 edge. This is likely going to be Storako's game unless Schaefer comes in, because Bobian logged so many pitches in that first game that you really don't want to have to bring her in, especially with how tired she appeared to be late in that game.
That will now bring up J.C. Michael. She takes the first pitch high for a ball.
Still 2 outs, though.
Yep. But the Bulls back in business.
Horns up.
Hashtag horns up. Hashtag fear none is the other hashtag out there. The 1-0. Called strike looping in there on the breaker. One swing of the bat can do a heck of a lot for your team. The 1-1. Foul goes up off the mask, I believe, of Alexander. They're 1 and 2. Could say that she was keen to get it over the fence, and she did just that. First home run surrendered on the career for Storako. As she gives the 1-2. That one misses high, 2 and 2. That was pitch number 50 on my book.
Seems reasonable. Let me see what state broadcast has.
Might have missed a few in between.
Yep.
The 2-2. Called strike 3. Down she goes, looking like a barn by the side of the road. J.C. Michael strikes out to end the inning, but not before Florida State gets a solo home run off the bat of Keene to bring them within a run. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Your score, Michigan 2, USF 1. Here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. I'm really digging that. Much more so than, say, Yeski or Teski. Or hashtag horns up, or hashtag fear none.
Well, Doyle back out to do her warm-ups in the circle as we get started in the top of the 5th. Game started at 3:15. We are already through 4 innings in just about an hour. The game's today just cruising along.
I mean, when you're not giving up 10-1 leads, games tend to go pretty fast.
That game was just ludicrous.
Sorry, silent jab at, not so silent jab at Illinois State and North Carolina State. Delayed Michigan's second game by about an hour and a half yesterday against Arizona. It's going to be Subject, Hogenrod, and Rodriguez. 7, 8, 9, bottom of the order due up here in the top of the 5th. As Michigan will look to get that run back and then some. All about winning innings straight.
Michigan needs to get some of these hits to find some gaps.
As Nicole Doyle back out to the circle, she's got back foot to rubber. And she delivers the first pitch to Subject, a ball inside.
Subject, Hoganrod, and Rodriguez here, 7, 8, 9 to start off the fifth.
The 1-0. That one swung on, fly ball ranging over towards shallow left field near the foul line, and making the grab is the shortstop Devitt for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out. That'll bring up Haley Hoganrod. With nobody on and 1 out, Michigan up 2-1. Both teams with just 2 hits so far here in the top of the 5th inning. And the first pitch, ball misses low. And 50 pitches as well now for Nicole Doyle. And the 1-0 is a called strike over the heart of the plate, 1-1.
By my count, 10 of the 13 outs recorded by USF have been out of the air, either pop outs, fly outs, line outs.
The 1-1 pitch. That one lined hard, foul down the third base line. One and 2 the count now as they get a ball over to Nicole Doyle, who has performed quite well so far in this game despite just giving up 2 runs. The 1-2 pitch. That one hit hard, foul, up and over the net down the first base line. Count stays 1 and 2. Leaning back and forth. Ball firm in the right hand of Nicole Doyle as she gives a 1-2. That one another hard shot. That one pulled hard by Hoganrod though, down the third base line into the netting foul.
Very close to lining that one up and spanking it. Just a tad out in front.
See what she can do here with her third 1-2 pitch. That one, a hard shot down the foul line. If it drops, it's fair, and it is. And that'll be a bloop single into shallow right field for Haley Hoganrod, right down the line. And the Wolverines have a base runner on their 3rd hit of the game, here with 1 out in the top of the 5th.
Well, Hoganrod put her hitting shoes on before this game.
Yep, she had the big double that brought around an RBI in her last at bat, and now a single.
Halfway to the cycle.
That'll bring up Natalia Rodriguez here with 1 out. She takes the first pitch, hits it hard over that right field foul line as well, but that one hangs up in the air and is gathered out in right field by Leistel, and that is 1 pitch, 1 out for Rodriguez. And now we're back to the top of the lineup with 2 outs. Natalie Peters going to try and make something happen here, with Hoganrod standing on first.
And now we might have a pitching change, looks like.
We might, as Ken Erickson is going to come out to the circle, and he has signaled for a new arm. Looks like Cheyenne Eggins is going to be the pitcher coming into the game here for USF, number 99. And one of their best pitchers in that staff.
She's going to try and keep USF in this game, keep them within a position to potentially rally.
Number 99 stepping in with a long blonde braid and a gold bow. She will take her warm-up pitches, as that will give some time for Natalie Peters and Lexi Blair to talk with Jennifer Brundage and Coach Hutch. An interesting delivery for Eggins is when she brings her right arm out of the glove, it's kind of chicken winged in. Keeps it very stiff to the inside and then gives the full release on the way around. How's the live chat there, Drain?
Fine.
Keep them questions coming. Oops, somebody just hit our metal fencing where our natural mic is. Sorry for any displeasant metal clanking sound.
Eggins is a native of Vienna Township, Ohio, which is just north of Youngstown, near Niles, in northeast Ohio.
All the more reason for Michigan to snag a few hits off her. You're right, this wind is
getting vicious.
Lifting up my laptop.
I'm gonna just have to lay down across the...
You might want to move your laptop over to this side, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. The wind really fighting us, though, but it is still pushing infield out, so if the Wolverines can get a hold of something, they can maybe get the same luck that Keene had on her solo shot. Drain is now laying across the table.
That's right.
As we're ready to get underway, Eggins with her first pitch to Peters. Called strike. She definitely brings some more speed in there than Nicole Doyle does. Strike one. Wild ride. Eggins taking her time, the 0-1. That one misses low and outside. So they've got Hoganrod on first. Michigan with a 2-1 lead here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Trying to get back a run that they gave up on a solo shot in the last frame to the Bulls. The 1-1. That one goes high. Going down to steal second is Hoganrod. She is in time. The throw was out in front of the bag, and having to track over to get it was Devitt, and not enough time to reach back and apply the tag. So a stolen base, and now a 2-1 count on Peters.
Well, Hoganrod's not marketed as one of the big stealing threats on this team, but using her speed to put herself in scoring position.
I believe that is her first stolen base of the season. As it is 2-1. That one misses low and outside, 3-1.
It might well be Michigan's first stolen base of the season overall. I know Blair was caught stealing. Everything else, I believe, has been wild pitches.
I think you're correct. Hoganrod setting trends out here. As Peters will step back to the box. The 3-1. That one is a chopper over towards third, gathered up, and the throw in time by about a step over at first base.
That's a good play.
Good effort play out there from the Gators to get the grab.
It's not the Gators.
Or the Bulls and end the inning. Get these Florida teams mixed up. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Michigan 2, USF 1 here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Drain Finish It.
Nope.
Radio Network. That's very disappointing.
Have you heard any grunting from the USF pitchers?
No. Not like tennis.
It sounded like, because we were watching the Florida game down close, it sounded like Barnhill was very much yelping in between, like right after her delivery.
Yeah, perhaps. The other thing that we might not be hearing is the fact that we have headsets on,
yeah.
So we are subject to our natural mic sound, which doesn't pick everything up as clearly as you'd think. So very well might be, but nothing that we can hear personally. Also, I'm disappointed you didn't finish it. You're going to finish the next one. This is a team effort here. A 2-man broadcasting
This
workload.
is like you wanting me to finish your salad so you wouldn't look bad at the Italian restaurant last night.
You know I don't eat salad, Drew. Bad for my kidney stones. You were a trooper, though. I stuck to the garlic bread. Brooke Hartman is due up first here for the Bulls in the bottom of the 5th inning. The first pitch is in the dirt up into the chest pad of Alexander, ball 1.
Well, it's basically a replay of NC State game in that Storaco's now got to get 9 more outs with just a 1-run lead.
The 1-0 grounded over towards short, gathered up by Rodriguez is the throw in time. It is by a step.
Yeah,
nice.
she
Yeah, they're in. She took an extra beat to make the throw over.
The double clutch nearly cost Rodriguez there.
But instead, it is a ground out to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. Just like a luxury jet, a G6. And that will bring up Lay, provided there's no pinch hitting, which actually I believe there is pinch hitting here as Ken Erickson is making the swap. And that will be Riley Gore coming in to pinch hit. And I know Gore, I believe, had a solo home run in USF game last night.
One of the characters in our live chat is saying that on every pitch, and that the NC State pitcher, third pitcher grunted, but only on fastballs.
Very astute. All right, the first pitch to Gore is chopped over into center field. Running over and making a diving grab is Natalie Peters.
Laying out to snag that one off the carpet.
Sacrifice the body. So now we've got great defensive plays in right and center from these Wolverines, as Riley Gore took one pitch and almost had a bloop single, but Peters must have tracked some 20 yards to go get that ball.
Now quickly 2 outs in the inning, only 3 pitches to get 2 outs. Staraco's only needed 62 so far.
And Megan Sheehan swings at the first pitch for a called strike. As Staraco delivers the 0-1, that one is up and inside for a ball, 1-1. Trying to go 1-2-3 for just the second time in this game. First time since the first inning. The 1-1. That one swung on and blooped over towards Natalia Rodriguez, where it sticks up near the third base bag. She ranges underneath it, makes the catch, and that's the third out of the inning.
6-pitch inning for Alex Staraco, and Michigan now 6 outs away from a win, but they're want to get some more insurance on this lead, and they're having a team conference right now out in front of the dugout.
We'll see what they can do when they come up in the top of the 6th. That's where we head, with Michigan leading 2-1 over USF here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Drain
Radio Network.
Yes. Thank you.
Wind now 17 miles an hour.
Never been in a hurricane, but pretty hefty winds here. I'm guessing local Floridians would probably tell us that these winds are nothing, just like we would tell them that snow is nothing or something along those lines. Wind coming off the Florida Gulf Coast here on the Tampa Bay. Haven't seen anybody in Tampa Bay AAF gear as the Alliance of American Football gets ready to kick off this weekend, Drain. Tampa Bay does have a franchise, I believe. Or no, that's the XFL will have a franchise in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Orlando has the AAF team. The Orlando Apollos. That replacement for football here in the offseason will kick off later this evening, I believe. But before then, we've got some softball to get done here. We've got Blair, Canfield, and Houghton coming up here in the 6th inning.
Well, this is the hitters you would expect to hit, so if Michigan wants to add some insurance, this is the group to do it.
Blair has teed a few up in this game, has yet to produce anything from it, though, as she'll face Eggins for the first time and take the first pitch high for ball 1. It only took Eggins 4 pitches in relief to end the last inning for the Bulls in the circle. And she takes her time, gets set, and delivers the 1-0. That one swung on, tap foul off the home plate.
Not a lot going on in the line score. 3 hits for Michigan, 2 hits for USF, and a 2-1 Michigan advantage.
Again, moving along very efficiently here today. As the 1-1 pitch comes in, called strike on the outside edge. Well-placed fastball there from Eggins. And the count goes to 1-2. Stares down to Cook, and the 1-2. That one a slap shot, going to get through the gap between short and third and into left field. And Lexi Blair has herself a base hit here to open up the top of the sixth.
Lexi Blair's been very good this weekend. The unfortunate play in the North Carolina State game notwithstanding, her offensive production's been good and she's been fine in the field.
And that will bring up Faith Canfield, who's trying to get in the hit column again as well. So far in the game, she had a pop-up and a line-out in the first and third, respectively. And she takes the first pitch up high for ball one.
Well, Blair is a major threat to steal. She got nabbed in the Arizona game by a tremendous throw from behind the plate by Mulipola. We've already seen Hoganrod swipe a base. We'll see if they test the arm of Cook again.
The 1-0. That one misses low for ball two.
On the other hand, I see the argument of wanting to leave your runners on when you have Canfield and Newton up.
Might not think about stealing if Eggins can't find the strike zone here. As she reaches back and delivers the 2-0. That one also misses low, ball three.
Final line on Nicole Doyle, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 strikeout.
The 3-0 pitch. That one comes inside and twisting out of the way, trying to sell that one was Canfield, but it is a called strike, 3-1.
Middle of a wrestling match with these papers.
Picking it up through the nap mic. The 3-1. That one grounded right where Blair had her base hit, and there's no play to be made there by Devitt, who grabs it before it reaches the grass. But an infield single for Faith Canfield, and now the Wolverines with runners on first and second to start the top of the sixth.
Michigan tucking these hits in the deep hole left side of the infield. Not super hard contact. Blair's was a pretty solid drive, but that one just a slow tapper in the right spot, and Michigan's got 2 on, nobody out, a chance to really push this lead.
And now Madison Uden stepping to the plate. The hefty part of the order coming up with Uden and then Overitis. The first pitch to Uden, she drops down a bunt. It looks like a pretty good one. Diving over to make the play, not in time.
Beautiful bunt there from Uden. Surprised everybody, no one drawn in at the corners whatsoever. And now bases loaded and nobody out.
Hartman was charging in from third base, and she had to try and turn around to make the throw, and there was nothing to be had there, so it's a bunt single. So 3 singles in a row for these Wolverines, and they are now in business. Ducks on the pond, the bases juiced up. Runners on first, second, and third with no outs here in the top of the sixth, trying to advance on a 2-1 lead.
Up comes Morgan Overitis. Freshman's gotten really good contact all game long. This is her first time seeing Eggins.
First pitch to Overitis, a called strike.
Overitis, a native of Canton, Michigan, and Salem High School, very nearby the Ann Arbor area.
The 0-1 pitch. That ball misses inside. 1-1.
Alexander on deck.
Lexi Blair standing on third, Canfield on second, Uden on first. With Overitis at the plate, the 1-1, that one misses up high and outside for ball two.
Well, this is a dangerous situation now if you are Eggins, because you've fallen behind what appears to be a pretty solid hitter in the first few at-bats of her career we've gotten to see. And with the bases loaded, nowhere to put her.
Cook took that last pitch, walked it back out to the circle herself, had a quick word with Eggins. And she will head back behind home plate to await the 2-1 pitch. As Eggins winds and delivers. That one a called strike, painting the outside edge well.
Good pitch there, and it wasn't going to be a whole lot Overitis could do with that.
2-2. Michigan went 0 for 3 with the bases loaded in their first game, as that one is fouled back to stay 2-2.
Bounced off the screen and right into the hands of Carol Hutchins.
And I should say not 0 for 3, but they left the bases loaded 3 times in that game.
Yeah.
Looking for a 2-2 pitch here as Eggins delivers to Overitis. That one misses high. Count runs full.
There you go. 3-2 count. Bases loaded. Nowhere to put her if it is outside. We have a pinch hitter moving into the on-deck circle. It's Gianna Carasoni, not Katie Alexander.
The payoff pitch. That one misses low, and it'll walk in a run.
This is the beginning of the insurance Michigan wanted, pushing it back to a 2-run edge, but now in the mood for more.
Lexi Blair crosses home plate as she comes all the way around from her original single at first. It advances Canfield over to third, and it advances Uden to second as Overitis stands on first. 3-1 Michigan now here in the top of the 6th. Still none out. Bases still juiced up.
So here's Gianna Carasoni, who has some people on her behalf at the stadium. 5'4", a right-handed hitter from North Las Vegas, Nevada, Rancho High School.
Eggins delivers the first pitch to Carasone. That one goes up, fouled back into the back net.
Carasoni's not as much of a power hitter as Overitis is. 15 home runs in her 4-year career. And she was not one of the higher-rated players in this recruiting class. She was number 60, which is solid.
And the 0-1. That one knuckled up, ranging over from third and making the grab there is Hartman, and that'll be 2 pitches and 1 out. The first out of the inning recorded. The bases remain loaded as Carasone will head back to the dugout.
Big out there for Eggins to put 1 down, but still not out of the weeds.
As that will bring up Alex Subject. First pitch to Subject, check swing. Still a called strike over the plate.
Looked like she wanted to take a real rip and then decided to lay off.
Eggins trying to get out of a jam. The 0-1. That one inside for a ball. Tucking the knees back just a little bit with Subject there.
Subject can get a hold of it and place it in a gap. It would bust this game right open. Michigan leading South Florida 3-1.
Cheyenne Eggins, ball to the glove, the 1-1 pitch. That ball missed somewhere.
Outside.
Just a bit outside. Two and 1 year count now on Alex Subject, playing first base in this game for the Wolverines. The 2-1 pitch, again missing inside, and again the knees come tucked back. 3-1.
Yep, sticky situation now for Eggins, who's already walked in a run this inning. Michigan got 3 singles to load the bases, and now on the verge of scoring a second run by virtue of the walk. Wind is picked right back up.
The 3-1 pitch, that one low, and another run is walked in. Michigan will add their second in the frame, their 4th of the game. They take a 4-1 lead on the walk to Subject. As crossing home plate will be Faith Canfield.
This is the heaviest wind of the game so far. Really blowing out there. But to yank the flag off the pole. And now Bonnie Thole comes jogging over to say something to Carol Hutchins, who's in conversation with Hoganrod. Hoganrod's in Michigan's best hitter today with a double and a single. She has not faced Eggins, though.
Yep, we'll see what Hoganrod is able to do here. She did have that big RBI double back in the 3rd. Had a single in the 5th, advanced on a stolen base to second. As she takes ball high for the first pitch. Eggins really struggling to find the zone right now. The 1-0. That one swung, tap foul off home plate.
A real good cut there from Hoganrod.
So far, Blair and Canfield have come around to score. Uden on third, Overitis on second, Subject on first, with Hoganrod at the plate. Eggins takes a while to look down to Cook. Thinks she's got what she wants. And the 1-1. That one swung on and fouled back into the back net. 1-2. Gale force wins, straight.
Yeah.
The 1-2. Check swing, did not go, and it was a meaty pitch to take.
Yeah, it's
could have rung up on that one, but it goes for a ball 2-2.
Hard one to lay off there.
Home plate umpire Liz Hammerschmidt does not go up with the arm.
Got another pinch hitting situation on deck as well.
Hannah Carson, it looks like, and the 2-2, that one is fouled back on the first base side.
It'll be Carson instead of Natalia Rodriguez after Hoganrod, assuming there is not a double play that ends the inning. As this lengthy at-bat continues.
Our soundboard is getting picked up in the laptop. Don't break the screen there, as another 2-2 is fouled back. We need like tape to hold down all the equipment too.
Yeah, the tape would get blown right off.
Oh my goodness. As Hoganrod fighting to stay alive a couple of times here on a 2-2 count, Eggins can't seem to put her away. The 2-2 again. This one a shot going back towards the middle. It's gathered in at second base, coming home.
No!
Not in time. Poor choice. It was gathered in at second there by Lay, and she decided to go home with it, but sliding in time there.
And that could have been a double play ball, too. I mean, an opportunity to go for two, and instead they try and save the run on a throw across the diamond.
And so that is Uden crossing the plate on that one. Her infield single got her on base originally. And I'm not sure if they're going to call that an error or what they might do there.
That has to be a hit.
See it go up on the board there. Yep, that is Michigan's third of the frame, 5th of the game. Now a 5-1 Michigan lead, as it looks like Ken Erickson's going to pull Eggins here now with the bases still loaded and just one out. We'll see who comes in. Cheyenne Eggins had a rough day.
Trying to see those numbers. Looks like maybe Brittany Hook. Yep, 98, Brittany Hook.
98 coming in for 99. As Michigan leads this one now 5-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Hook, a native of Willow Street, Pennsylvania, just south of Lancaster. She'll get her warm-up pitches as Carson will be the batter up and Peters on deck. Lexi Blair in the hole with a batter's helmet on.
Yeah, paint the picture again. You've got Overitis on third, Subject on second, Hoganrod on first.
Well, we are in run wall watch, by the way, because a ball in the gap that clears the bases would put Michigan up 7, heading to the bottom of the 6th.
Still just one out here on the inning. Michigan going to bat around here most likely, as Blair was the one who led off the inning, and we are at the 9 hole now, headed back to the 1, and Blair batting in the 2 spot, as it looks like Hook is ready to go. Hook coming in for Eggins after Eggins gets the hook. And Hannah Carson standing in with her back foot to the back line. She takes a slap on the first pitch she sees, and she hits it on a rope out to center field, trying to tag and score, and Will is overitis, and that's another run for Michigan as they advance to a 6-1 lead now here on the sac fly off the bat of Hannah Carson, her first RBI.
Well, really good contact there, right? Straight out to center field, gets the out, and then scampering home, overitis. Michigan's put up a 4 spot in this 6th and given themselves some much-needed padding. And then we flip back to the top of the order, meaning that all 9 have come up in this inning.
Natalie Peters at the plate. She takes the first pitch for a called strike. So it only took 1 pitch for Hook to get her first out, but it's another run that will go against Eggins on the books, as Michigan left with runners on first and second now with 2 outs here, up 6-1. Kicking back and delivering the 0-1. That one a chop shot over towards short. A nice diving grab and the rollover to second base, not in time. It was a bit of an awkward play. The shortstop, Devitt, came sliding over to make the stop and then tried to slide it on the ground over to the second baseman, Lay, and Lay couldn't glove it by the time that the foot had touched the bag, and so the bases are chock full again.
A tremendous, tremendous diving spot by Devitt, because she saved that ball getting into the infield and then almost made the SportsCenter highlight reel flip to the second baseman, but then just not able to be corralled. If Lay had grabbed it on the first attempt, it would have been an inning-ending out. Instead, it got fumbled around, and that ball was loose by the time that...
Yeah, definitely safe. The umpire and crew did just convene to confirm that.
So now the run rule runs are in scoring position for Lexi Blair, who started the inning with a solid single.
She can get something out into the outfield, hit a gap maybe. There might be a good chance to bring 2 around. Out of space for putting this at bat for her. Bases loaded, 2 outs here, top of the 4th. Michigan's already put up 4. Hook delivers the first pitch to Blair. That one misses high.
Michigan's offense finally starting to emerge. Putting up more runs in this game than the previous 3 combined.
And the 1-0 pitch to Blair. Called strike on the outside edge. Nice throw there from Hook.
Blair with a 2 single day and a good hard fly out to center, looking for the 3rd hit.
Hook looks down, winds, and delivers the 1-1. That one a shot over towards short. It's gathered in by Devitt, who makes the throw in time. She makes up for the play that she just had at second base, and she has a Jeter-esque throw over from short, deep in the hole, and it is in time by about a step, and that will end a prolonged inning where the Wolverines bat all the way around +1, and they put up 4 in the frame. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Michigan 6, USF 1. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. What an inning there, Drain.
Yeah, really good inning by Michigan. Scratching hits across, and really fine play there by Devitt to end the inning. That, off the bat, thought that was going to be another infield hit for Lexi Blair with her speed, but Devitt's a real fine defensive shortstop. We've seen that on a number of occasions, both getting down and then trying to make those throws across the diamond. Really, one crucial mistake defensively was the decision to go home. Otherwise, stout performance from her, and Michigan leads 6-1. They send Storako back out there, who has been cruising today.
Very nice to see a column in the scorebook that goes all the way down the 6th inning line.
Yep. And Storako, in terms of pitch count, very fresh at just 65, and 40 of those strikes. She's been throwing a high percentage of strikes after a period of time where it was a little bumpier. She needs 6 outs to put Michigan at 2-2 on the weekend and give them the opportunity to try to fight for a winning record on this opening weekend tomorrow morning against Illinois State.
USF will have 1, 2, 3, Bruni, Leistel, and Devitt here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nearing 5 o'clock here, local time. As the first pitch of the inning to Bruni misses low on the breaking ball.
Bruni, a sac bunt, her first time up. That was very puzzling. It's like the Arizona Wildcats, or maybe that's Illinois doing stretching.
The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball in there for a called strike, count 1-1.
Yeah, that looks like Illinois State doing jumping jacks. And in the batting cage, Arizona. That's game number 4 on the evening.
The 1-1 pitch. Tried to climb the ladder there, and it went way high. Coming up out of the crouch to make the grab is Alexander with 2-1. Storako working quickly, the 2-1. That one again missing high, not quite as high, but the count will go 3-1.
Don't want to put the leadoff runner on.
Certainly not.
Getting the signs from Jennifer Brundage.
The 3-1. That one a called strike on the outside edge with the fastball painted really well there on Bruni as she was held up. Count now full 3-2.
Good location.
That one pitch number 70 of the outing here for Storako. A payoff pitch. That one chopped over towards short. Gloved on the short hop by Rodriguez, but she doesn't have a play.
Yeah, that
really fast speed down the line for Bruni as she'll get an infield single on the hopper.
Bruni lightning quick down the line, and the soft contact. Just no play for Rodriguez, and an infield hit, but Storako continues to really avoid tough contact overall.
Gloved it really well there, did Rodriguez. It was a confident.
Yeah, she came up ready to make a play, but.
Yep. That'll bring up Brooke Leistel as she takes the first pitch at the knees for a called strike.
It's one of those that if it's an average base runner, like a Uden type, you have a play. It's an easy out if it's a slower runner, but with a lightning quick dash down the line, no play there.
The 0-1, showing bunt, pulling back, ball high, 1-1. So Bruni on first for USF. They have a 5-run deficit to make up here in the bottom of the 6th. Wolverines lead 6-1. The only Bulls run coming off of a keen solo shot earlier this one, showing bunt on 1-1 and bunting foul for Leistel. So now the bunt out of play with the count 1-2.
Don't really want to bunt when you're down 5 runs. You want to take some cuts.
And a couple of calls that we questioned throughout this game. Sacrifice advancing on the bunt. Count 1-2, and Leistel will have to free swing. And the pitch. That one misses high above the letters, 2-2.
Well, after a very, very quick 5th inning for Storako, this is more like the 4th and did a laborious effort.
This will be pitch number 75 in my book here. And the 2-2. That one is nubbed foul down the third base side, got in on the handle of the bat, and well to fight it off and stay alive at 2-2 for Leistel. Storako standing in tall, foot to the rubber, the 2-2 pitch. That one chopped right back to Storako. She goes over to first base for the easy play. Return to subject in time, out number 1. Advancing over to second will be Bruni.
5 more outs to get for the Wolverines to finish this game off. So now I have to go through some of the better hitters in Devitt and Macy Cook. Devitt was by far the best hitter a year ago for USF with 6 homers.
An up and down day in the field, but the first pitch she takes and she swings foul. Is it going to stay in play? It does not. It gets over the net and bounces off the top of the USF dugout by a couple of inches. 0-1. Sun's starting to peek out here through the clouds. It's been pretty much entirely gray and cloudy throughout this game, and That's affected the weather, getting a lot cooler out here.
It's definitely bright this morning. Cloud cover this afternoon.
The 0-1, called strike. Fastball over the heart of the plate, and very quickly Devitt down 0-2.
This is where Straka wants her, out in front. Didn't get a strikeout in the last inning, looking to claim another victim here.
Straka with the 0-2. That one swung on, headed over towards Lexi Blair in left field. She's back to the track and makes the grab comfortably. And tagging up and heading to third on that grab, very wisely, is Bruni. And so advancing on the fly out to left field, the Bulls now have a runner at third. It's as far as they've advanced on the base paths today.
Outside of the homer.
Their one run, yeah, coming on a solo home run, so nobody ever really stood on third base.
They touched it.
Fly out to 7. That one had some good power, but it wound up about 5-6 steps shy of the wall. And that will bring up Macy Cook, the catcher here for the Bulls, with a chance to scratch a run across with a runner on third and 2 outs. First pitch to Cook misses low. Again, Wolverines lead this one 6-1 over the Bulls after a 4-run frame in the top of this inning. We now sit in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-0. That's a ball up high, 2-0. Had that as pitch 80. As Straka continues to work through this one. Twisting that ball and delivers the 2-0. That one missing just a bit low below the zone as well. 3-0. This one should be right over the plate here. Straka with the pitch. Called strike. 3-1 to Macy Cook, who so far on the game had a ground out and a fly out in the 2nd and 4th, respectively. Back up here in the 6th. And the 3-1, another called strike. And from going 3-0 back to full 3-2.
One strike away from getting out of the inning. And stranding the runner at third is Straka.
See what she's got here as she twists the payoff pitch. That one is popped up right to Canfield at second base. She will make the grab comfortably. Bulls get a runner to third, but they do not score. They continue to be down 5 as we head to the top of the 7th. It's Michigan 6, USF 1 here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. On the Michigan Student Softball Train Radio Network.
Final line on Cheyenne Eggins. 0.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks. Ugly line there.
Indeed.
And we've got some questions in the live chat, quite a few. We have one, what happened to Lou Allen? And the answer is an injury.
Yep, we talked about that yesterday. We did not know actually during the broadcast, so shout out to everybody who dropped those lines to us, that Lou had another surgery on her knee, is out indefinitely. They're hoping to have her back at some point during the season, but unclear at the moment.
Also does Coach Beeline have any daughters who know softball?
I don't know.
His kids are quite old.
Yeah,
so.
Obviously his son Patrick, the coach at Lemoyne, of the Lemoyne Dolphins in basketball. I'm not sure about softball. I know Coach Harbaugh had some daughters that were interested in water polo.
And then a lot of people asking about the issues with Michigan's hitting. Is it power or placement?
I don't know. That's a good question, Drain. What do you think?
I think that this freshman class does have some genuine power that we've seen. It's going to take time for them to get more effort. Some of the other hitters, it's definitely, I think, some placement issues.
So due up here, we've got Canfield, Uden, and Overitis in the top of the 7th, trying to add on to a 6-1 lead. as Canfield is in the box and takes the first pitch for a called strike.
I mean, we've seen from Lexi Blair, it definitely seems like she's got
some pop,
some power, and I think she's going to have a really good future. And Overitis has looked quite strong.
Yeah, she's hit the ball really well. Maybe that's one of the placement issues. A couple hit on hot ropes as the 0-1 to Canfield is hit, and it goes off the glove of the first baseman. Can the throw get back in time? It can't. And Canfield is safe. That one was a hard shot that got knocked down over at first base by Keene. Rolled over to Lay at second, and Lay was unable to get the throw back to the bag in time. And so Michigan will have what I believe should be an infield single. That was a tough play to try and make for Keene, but Canfield is on the base paths again, was on the base paths and scored in the 6th, and she will be on to lead off the 7th, as that will bring Madison Uden to the plate. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Back-to-back infield singles by Canfield. Uden also had an infield single in her last at-bat, in which she scored. One, a ball as well.
7 hits now for the Wolverines, 6 runs on 7 hits.
Standing in tall at the plate is Uden. And that one missing high as well. I think the scoreboard is off by a ball. It says 2-0. I believe it's 3-0. As Hook stands in, foot to the rubber, and the pitch. That one misses low, and it is ball 4. So, yep, the scoreboard did have that one a miss. And so an infield single and a walk, and the Wolverines starting this inning just like they did the last, with runners on first and second now and none out.
Another opportunity for Morgan Overitis.
Yep, Morgan Overitis had a walk in her at-bat in the 6th. Came around to score. She was the last one to cross the plate in that 4-run 6th inning. And she's got Canfield on second, Uden on first. The first pitch from Hook. A breaking ball that goes up high, maybe inside as well. 1-0. If Michigan brings 2 across, it will be a run rule victory. The 1-0, called strike. I am correct in that assumption, right, Drain? If they do reach the 7-run lead here in the top, there's no need to bat the bottom?
No, I believe USF still gets to bat.
Do they still bat the bottom? Okay. The 1-1. That one a called strike. Lower part of the zone on the off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. The 1-2. That one misses high. Count now evens at 2 apiece. Michigan had 2 in the 3rd and 4 in the 6th, threatening to add on here. USF just the 1 run in the 4th. As Hook looks down and gives the 2-2. That one slapped over towards short. It's gathered in by Devitt. She tosses over to second. Not in time. She delayed on the toss. And there was some good speed from Uden to slide in time, and the bases will be loaded again with none out. And yet another tough break for Lindsay Devitt over at short.
Yeah, solid contact. It was going to be a tough play at either position there. Either throwing it over to first, which she probably didn't have a play on, or that little underhand flip. Now the bases loaded and nobody out once again for Katie Alexander.
Alexander takes the first pitch low for a called strike. She was pinch hit for in the 6th inning by Gianna Carsone.
That is going to go down as an error.
So we'll do reached on error then. As the 0-1, that's a hot shot, headed left over the wall. Grand slam home run. Katie Alexander, she'd been waiting to uncork, and she just popped the champagne bottle. 4 runs coming across here in the top of the 7th inning on a grand slam shot.
Now she gets all 4 RBIs on that one.
10-1 Michigan. And you are correct, Drain. It will keep going here. So we'll play the full 7 nonetheless. Michigan now up by 9 runs.
Well, for a team looking to finally connect and break open, they did just that.
She turned right on that one and took it to the house. As now standing in is Alex Subject. She takes the first pitch for a called strike. How about that? No outs yet on the inning, and they've already got a grand slam. Hook will remain in the game. As the 0-1 pitch to Subject misses a ball outside. Looking down for a long time is Hook. As the 1-1 comes across, and this one's popped up, looping towards center field, ranging over and making a diving grab. What an excellent play out in center field by Anna Marie Bruni. Laying out and saving another hit from dropping in. And that'll be the first out of the inning. A tough break there for Subject.
Tremendous play by Bruni to save what would have been the 9th hit for the Wolverines.
And we do have a pinch hitter coming in here for the Wolverines. See who we've got coming in here. Chelman, I believe.
That's what it looks like.
Yep, it is Grace Chelman.
This is, I believe, her first career at bat. We only saw her as a pinch runner, if I remember correctly.
And she comes in and takes the first pitch for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch is hit over towards Devitt at short. Can she beat it out? She can. Infield single for Grace Chelman, first career hit. And boy, Devitt is just struggling over at short today. She cannot catch a break. It was a really nice grab and a strong throw over to first. It just got beat by about half a step. As the umping crew will confirm that decision, Ken Erickson not loving it as he comes over to talk to the first base umpire.
Seems safe to me.
It looked, if anything, maybe to be a tie to the runner, which obviously goes in favor of Chelman. A hard hit shot over to short. Devitt has just been picked on over in that spot today.
Devitt is kind of an anti-Derek Jeter today, and that Jeter never really got to a lot of balls, and when he did, he made great plays. She's gotten to everything and just hasn't finished off some of these plays, but you know, Chelman got down the line fast there. Give her credit.
Brings up Natalia Rodriguez, who takes the first pitch for a ball. The 1-0. That one loops over the plate for a called strike. Hook just trying to get out of the inning here so that USF can try and bat some runs in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan's currently up 10-1. Runner on first, 1 out, the 1-1. That one's smacked into left field. A base hit for Natalia Rodriguez. And Drain, I think the bats are awake now.
Yeah, everything going right now for Michigan.
Coming up, aces. Natalia Rodriguez gets her first hit of the game.
This is now hit number 10 for the Wolverines. 10 runs on 10 hits. Gotten some help from a lot of walks, too. And now it's a pinch hitter, Abby Skvars.
For Natalie Peters here at the top of the order.
Skvars pinch hit in one of the games yesterday. I don't remember which one. I believe it was the Arizona game.
You are correct. I believe she was the last out of the Arizona
that sounds
game.
right.
Came in with 2 outs in the 7th inning there. And the first pitch that she takes is a called strike. Gonna have to dip into the 8th inning column for Lexi Blair here, as the Wolverines are about to bat around yet again. Canfield led off the inning in the 3 spot. We're back to the 1, the 0-1. That one misses high for a ball, 1-1.
Well, the interesting thing is that Michigan had just 3 hits through 5 innings and now 7 in the last 2 innings. So we've got a pair of what looks like middle or high school softball players up on the deck doing drills with each other.
The 1-1. That one hit right back towards Hook. She muffs it, but still makes the throw over to first in time. The runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd on the play. Had some trouble getting that one into the glove, but still made the recovery and the throw over to first, so it'll be a fielder's choice.
And now for the 2nd straight inning, all 9 hitters will come to the plate for the Wolverines, as Lexi Blair is back.
Blair standing in, and she rips a shot down the first baseline, foul. So again, Natalia Rodriguez is on 2nd, and then you have Grace Chelleman on 3rd. And the 0-1 pitch.
Did you recognize that dugout chant?
I missed.
They were doing the Freddie Mercury vocal improvs down there.
Ah. Shout out Bohemian Rhapsody. Quality flick. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike, now 1-2. I could have enjoyed that movie a little bit more had they focused more on like the later life of Freddie Mercury. I didn't love the kind of slow start that it had.
Oh, it's always tough making a biopic.
Drain is a big movie guy. Are you going to do Oscar articles on the website?
I probably am going to do one with Teddy, it looks like.
Okay. That one misses low, 2-2. Keep an eye out for the movie review article from Alex Drain and Teddy Gutkin then.
So long at bat now for Blair.
Yeah, 4 pitches in. I think it's more so that Hook is just taking a lot of time between throws, as she looks down to Cook and brings the 2-2, and that one's hit hard again by Blair, and again it just sticks up in right field. So again, solid contact, but she flies out over to right, and that will end the inning as Lysville makes the grab. But again, Michigan puts up 4 runs on a Katie Alexander grand slam. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, Michigan 3 outs away from a big bounce-back win. They lead 10-1 over the USF Bulls here on WCBN Sports, coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Save for the Grand Slam
Radio Network.
Radio Network. Thank you, Drain.
Well, when you look at this game and compare it to yesterday's games, USF allowed a total of 5 runs against their 2 opponents, including a very good Arizona team who Michigan saw, and Arizona only got 4 runs off of USF. They saw Doyle themselves, had a pretty similar performance to Michigan against Doyle, but they got shut down by Eggins, who Michigan bludgeoned, and Hook got 1 solid out for USF, whereas Michigan has battered her around. So this is a pretty solid showing by a Michigan team.
And it will be Keene, Michael, and Hartman due up here in the 7th inning for USF.
And we got a new pitcher in the game. It's Sarah Schaefer to finish off the 7th.
Schaefer to see her first action of the season in the circle here.
Close the book on Starocco. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Very, very good outing for her to get the confidence back.
good break-in spot. I mean, if I was having my first outing of the season, I would love to have a 9-run lead to step into the circle with, make me nice and comfortable.
Sarah Schaefer, a sophomore pitcher from West Des Moines, Iowa, who appears to be the number 3 again this year.
An interesting choice here as a pinch hit to open up the inning. It'll be Megan Piero for the home run hitter, Keene. Piero stepping up to the plate.
Sarah Schaefer was the number 3 a year ago behind Tara Blanco. Had some pretty good outings, including a perfect game on her birthday against Robert Morris in the Oxford tournament, but was not able to hang with Big Ten competition and got relegated to the 3rd spot. She's got some talent.
Piero fouls the first pitch back.
But often felt like it needed to be reined in. More of a project-type arm for Jennifer Brundage.
See what she's able to throw here. She looks down to Alexander and the 0-1. That one a soft foul shot that goes down the third base line. Just kind of a half-hearted hack at it, 0-2. See if she can come up with a put-away pitch here on Piero. Trying to put the finishing touches on a big offensive outbreak for Michigan here in the 6th and 7th innings of this game. The 0-2, that one misses up high and inside, 1-2.
Wind picked really back up here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah. The 1-2 pitch. That one again misses inside as Piero dips out of the way, 2-2. The Illinois State Redbirds are in the dugout on the first base side, and the Arizona Wildcats are out in left field awaiting their next game here after the conclusion of this one. The 2-2 pitch comes up high. Count now 3-2 after being up 0-2, I should say. On Megan Piero. The payoff pitch. That one just missing low. That's not a bad pitch there from Schaefer. She's got to bring it up a hair, and that'll be a 6-pitch walk to open up the bottom of the 7th here.
Yet command an issue at times last year for Schaefer.
Second consecutive inning that they've opened up with a base runner. Bruni got on with an infield single back in the 6th, but they couldn't score. She got all the way to 3rd. And now another pinch hitter, Mia Fung, stepping in.
She played in the game last year. I believe she was a starter.
Yep, as she takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
That was a frustrating 3-2 loss for Michigan at the hands of the Bulls.
They seemed gassed after the Florida game, maybe after last year, but this year coming back with a big output as Fung rips one down the line, but just foul. 1-1 now.
Schaefer's final line last year was 62 1/3 innings, 49 hits, 14 walks, and a 1.57 ERA. I mean, not too shabby at all. She has a role to play on this team.
The 1-1 to Fung. That one misses outside for ball 2.
You were asked in the live chat earlier about potential rotation for tomorrow against Illinois State. I would imagine a combination of Schaefer and Starocco, assuming Michigan can get their fair share of hits off of Illinois State.
The 2-1. That one a called strike on an off-speed pitch from Schaefer brings the count to 2-2.
Illinois State, of course, was down huge to NC State, and an NSFW loss to Florida last night.
The 2-2. That called strike 3 on the outside upper corner. Well placed, well framed, and the first strikeout of the season for Sarah Schaefer is a backwards K.
2 more outs to get. And it looks like another pinch hitter.
Yep, another pinch hitter. That's going to be Taylor Filla. F-I-L-L-A. She's going to try and fill the bases. The first pitch, breaking ball called strike.
Yeah, now the wind is at an extreme.
As this is only an audio stream, you can't see Alex Drain laying across our broadcast table trying to keep our equipment from blowing away. As Phila is in an 0-1 count, she takes the pitch from Schaefer up high for a ball.
Score still 10-1 in favor of the Wolverines, who erupted for 8 runs between the 6th and 7th innings.
And the 1-1 pitch is just above the shoelaces inside for a ball, 2-1. Schaefer trying to be the closer here in this one with a 10-1 lead for Michigan in the bottom of the 7th. And the 2-1 is blooped over towards the dugout, foul, 2-2. That would be the dugout on the first base side, the USF dugout. A few Illinois State fans starting to file in. A couple of Arizona fans here as well. As the 2-2 pitch from Schaefer comes in, just missing low.
Tough. No call there.
3-2 now. Again, looking like a good pitch from Schaefer. She's got to pull that up maybe an inch or so. A payoff pitch to Phila. That one a ball inside. And so a 6-pitch walk again. Similar to what she did with Piero, as Piero will head down to second and Phila will go to first. And perhaps something brewing here for USF in the bottom of the 7th, as they've got a couple of runners on and 1 out. And it looks like another pinch hitter situation. Again, this time it's going to be Desiree Maldonado. Maldonado trying to bring around a couple of runs to cut into this 9-run USF deficit. As Schaefer trying to put the game away. The first pitch, she takes outside and away for ball 1. The 1-0. That one is grounded over towards second. The quick toss over to second is in time. The throw over to first will not be. So runners will move to the corners now with 2 down. And now USF down to their last out will pinch hit yet again. And this time they will put in Madison Epperson.
It is 5 consecutive pinch hitters for the Bulls.
And the first pitch to Epperson is a ball.
Hold on.
Yes.
Did they not get the out at second?
They did.
Well, there's a runner on third.
They have not changed the scoreboard.
The runner's on third.
Called strike to Epperson, 1-1.
That's right, yeah.
They did,
they did, yeah.
First
there was
and
first
second
and second,
runners
yeah.
advanced to the corners, yeah. And what you were talking about there, Drain.
Well, they still haven't updated the scoreboard, and then I looked down and I saw a runner on third.
The 1-1 grounded over to Uden at third base. She makes the toss over to Subject, and that will do it. As Michigan will take game 4, the second game of the day, 4th game of the season, by a final score of 10-1 in an offensive outburst here after the bats had been quiet through the Arizona and Florida games. Drain, your thoughts on this one as the teams go through the handshake line?
This was the game Michigan fans were finally looking for in an offensive outburst, and I think it's helping to, provided that tomorrow goes as planned, give us a good idea on what this team is. This Michigan team looks like a team that is going to be very good in terms of the pitching and the defense, and that they are probably good enough to compete with teams like Arizona, maybe a notch below Florida, but this is a good team, and they faced a competitive Bulls team that made the tournament, and they pounded them up, and Storako looked very strong again. Michigan seems to have a pretty solid pitching situation forming this year, and freshmen got involved. Senior leadership from Alexander.
It'll be the second collegiate win for Alex Storako, as she went 6 innings full, and then Sarah Schaefer coming in to close out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Any final thoughts, Drain, before we head out?
Well, just a really good win for the team, and they can head away back to Michigan after the game tomorrow with the winning record, which is what they wanted. And certainly compared to last season with the really deflating and in some ways crushing loss to USF, a tight one-run loss that really came back to sting later in the season. This was much more reassuring, and they got everyone involved, all the pitchers involved today. I think almost every hitter came to the plate today, so it's what you like to see.
The Michigan fans, the Michigan team will head home happy with this one. Your final score from Game 2 on the day here at the USF Softball Stadium: Michigan 10, USF 1. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with the final game of the road trip here against Illinois State, the Redbirds, who are going to play in this next game here against Arizona. We will see you tomorrow morning at 9 again. Thank you very much to those of you who tuned in on youtube.com/WCBN Sports. We appreciate your listenership and your support. Your final score: Michigan 10, USF 1. As always, we leave you with a WCBN good night and a Go Blue.